Meguana and Astraeos updates. Mod map Althemia Magic Ground goes premium. And Megaraptor voted in to be your next community creature. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So Community Crunch 447 arrives to us announcing, yes, Megaraptor won the vote, and only just, it was pretty close for a while back there. In the ranking rounds, it was seemingly the cheetah that was going to be the winner, and then the Megaraptor came through and clipped, chipped, hit that top spot, being your picked favorite creature out there, and the creature that's going to be arriving to Valguero when we get that ASA revision of Nakatis's first map that was added to the official roster. A map that Nakatis himself said during last year's Extra Life stream he'll be working on himself to bring revive and hopefully add a few new touches to make it the ASA Unreal 5 facelift he hopes it to be. And it's an interesting winner, this one, because everybody that I've spoken to wasn't happy about this one winning the vote. But obviously somebody voted for this, right? And I guess why did this win the vote? It seems that a good sales pitch can help to sell anything, as the abilities pitched with this creature were pretty insane, suggesting this having a pounce ability, performing a jump scare lunge, emitting a UT style fear attack on anything it lunges at, with survivors being hit with shock, hallucination effects, and it turning into some stalker version during the night, able to haunt its prey before killing them, roaring from the shadows to terrify both creatures and players, being able to track you through following tracks, stalking you in the dark, possessing dodge and parry abilities, deflecting arrows and all kinds of darts and bullets, and a very unique taming process suggested in having to harvest Megaraptor claws and use them to craft Megaraptor blades, using them in some battle to the death fight with the Megaraptor, feeding it battle tartar and shadow stake through parrying the beast strikes, to possess a 3-swipe combo, wounding Nash, increased damage, blood trail, movement, speed buff, monolith, the compounce, crouch, jump, directional dodge, overkill, the ultimate Swiss army of dinos. Why wouldn't you want to vote for this, right? But I've said, and we've seen in previous voting rounds, in previous voted community creatures, that abilities really aren't the complete definitive expectation of what a voted creature will definitely get when it's fully integrated into ARK. You are simply voting for that prehistoric dino and its aesthetics, and hopefully Wildcard will be influenced by the suggested abilities and try and build into this what they can. But I don't know, man, just reading all of those abilities off seems like far too much to make a seriously insane OP dino. Look at previous votes like the Dinopithecus that was suggested as a monkey that could wield a gun. Didn't happen. We got a different varied version of it. Instead of wielding a gun, it was able to throw grenades. So I'm sure Wildcard will take some of this into consideration. But the fact is, voting it based on its abilities probably wasn't the smartest move. And I think we're going to be bracing ourselves for a bit of a letdown on what's suggested when this is actually brought to ASA. From the comments I received during a live stream when this was officially announced, it seemed that the majority of the PvP community were heavily invested in going for this one, and I can resonate with that. If all of the abilities are delivered with this creature, why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you want this in the game? It sounds insane. I'm really concerned it's not going to live up to that hype. It's not going to live up to all of those abilities. Voting based purely on its aesthetics, I can't say this was the best pick for me personally, because, well, Valguero is coming with a Raptor variant already. The Deinonychus will be brought back into ASA with this map. And did we need another theropod? I don't know, man. I think there was some really cool creative ideas being suggested, but those abilities are killer, man. That's the one. It's gonna be the monster you're all gonna want to tame, and I guess we'll have to see what happens when Wildcard do to bring this to being an actual tameable creature in ARK. In fact, there was a modded version of this available in ARK Survival Evolved. Here's Chubby Dino showcasing a little montage of its attacks, and a bit of a monster, size-wise, scale-wise, definitely comparable to an Allo. An absolute monster in that mod alone, really did initiate some insane attacks. But I wonder, a slight concern on how varied this is going to be versus the already quite long list of theropods that are kind of roughly the same size. Either way, a big congratulations to Roberto Turati, who definitely created a very intriguing pitch on this thing. I can see why it sold well to the PvP community especially, and I can see why even from a PvE perspective this would be a great creature to be the theropod to beat all theropods. Just a bit worried on what we're actually gonna get when we see this in August. But something you can see now is for Sodosuchuses and Mantis on Astraeos. There was a recent patch going through a bunch of different fixes, from Gigantoraptor egg saddle hatching, Tuzos being able to grab and push players into the mesh, Meguana's fertilized eggs having a decompose timer, Mech's pistol decal displaying as a green line, and I'm wondering whether they were looking at the Power Rangers skin in particular, talking about that, and a range of different exploits and hacks being patched on top. But with this patch, Meguana saddles now can be found in drops. You'll be able to find Meguana saddles in either easy or medium Astraeos OSD loot tables, as well as actually being able to do purple and blue OSDs. These weren't available up until this point. Now you can do those infinite legendary OSDs in Astraeos, with, as mentioned last weekend, a bunch of areas not buildable anymore in PvE, not PvP. I got that a bit wrong last time, sorry about that. It is just PvE. A few different palette issues, so birch trees are now a bit brighter and colourful, and Astraeos outdoor fog's been fine-tuned to create a more visually warming adventure. A bunch of different changes to the bosses, in particular the second Cyclops boss, with it now having increased attack damage, increased knockback, better visibility. Essentially a bunch of things to stop people exploiting it and cheesing their free element. But what I did notice that is missing from this is the incredibly rare cyan drops that can reward you element, kibble, and some of the super duper BPs out there for your saddles. Well, now you do have to be level 90 to access these. I don't think there was a level cap before, or at least I didn't see a level cap myself. As well as spawns and overspawns, there was a few issues with some creature spawns behaving very oddly, especially with modded creatures out there. So if you've got any modded creatures installed on your unofficial playthroughs, you should find these spawns working now, such as obviously paleo creatures and ARK Editions and S variants like I've got on my playthrough. Speaking of which, Nakatas decided to include new S variants of the Meguana and the Ceratosaurus. The Meguana specifically, this being a little bit OP in the fact that you can shoot off the back of this thing, so why wouldn't you, right? Including the additional movement speed and attack damage versus the loss in health you'll find with all S variants of that recommended mod by the maker of Astraeos. With his other recommended accompanying mod mythological creatures that he literally dubbed a companion mod to Astraeos when he first launched this last year, including minotaurs and seahorses. Well, there's going to be a brand new edition, and oh my god, I need this in my life. A Cyclops that apparently is going to be dubbed as powerful as a Giga, but just looks much cooler. Well, definitely fitting with the Greek themes and all of the God of War references that you want, right? And if you want even more stylized references, there's a brand new stylized Egypt structure skin that's just been added to the premium mod list, as well as Althemia, one of the mod maps that we checked out a while back when we were going through a lot of the maps available out there. And gotta say, Althemia specifically, I was really fascinated by. I really enjoyed this map in particular over perhaps most mod maps. It was really well done, really well balanced, really well performing, and if there's one mod I probably would have picked to make the move to premium, it would have been this one. So I'm looking forward to checking out that one too, as well as castles, keeps, and forts. A brand new mod from Exile Acid that's going to offer you a bunch of different ways to create those medieval vibes, especially with Ragnarok around the corner, and it's still coming in April as far as we know. With a wonder if this Unreal 5.4 update is still due this month. The devs said March was going to be the month you would find this to roll out, and hopefully will be a major improvement across the board for a lot of players out there. A lot of you out there are looking forward to this one, but nothing has been said about that so far. Leaving us with Wildcard mentioning they are proactively trying to account for all of this downtime on servers at the moment with increased upload timers and temporarily disabling decay timers, with taking certain regions offline and extending the time on expire servers. With a lot of monitoring behind the scenes there, servers still going down. I heard a bunch went down last night, and this probably may take a few days, as I mentioned in my video yesterday where I went through everything of my understanding of what DDoSing is and how severe it really is for the ARK community, for ARK. It's just not going to be an overnight fix, and it does seem this is going to take a few days to be resolved. I get the anguish, I get the frustration, I get how passionate people are in pointing fingers, but as I said in that video, there's only one specific person to be pointing the finger at, and just hopefully there will come a day where we can look at the word DDoS and see it as an historical event that is never ever a thing again. I really hope so. It's absurd, it's ridiculous, and it's embarrassing. It's a lose-lose for everyone, and I hope at the very least some compensation will be offered, at least from Natrado. Of course, with anybody renting their servers, I'm sure they're going to compensate for all of the days lost, for all of the time lost with this. A lot of people are angry out there that are stuck within the regions that are being hit by these DDoS attacks, and it's not fair on them either. Everybody needs to be compensated that has been affected by this, and I hope Natrado will put those people right, and maybe hopefully make an announcement themselves. They've been pretty quiet, though Wildcard have been at least very open now, explaining it is indeed a DDoS attack, and I hope Natrado will jump on board with this and offer their 2 cents as well, and perhaps what they're going to attempt to look into in the future to try and do anything to alleviate such an immoral, childish, petty course of actions.
Stop it. Get some help.
I really hope in the future we'll hear news of some real, concrete legal action taken upon stuff that is taken far too much for granted. My name is Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.